So let's talk about a few things. All right, we good. What do we want to talk about, chat? What do we want to talk about? Lost Ark. People want me to like fill them in. Okay, I want to fill them in. What do I want to fill you in with? Thaymine. Okay, let's talk about solo content. Soloing and content. Okay. People wish in KR that it was from Volton to Volton to Thaymine. Normal. Why? Biggest question is why, right? We're happy that it goes to Voltus, but I wish it was also Thaymine normal too. Now that I think about it too. Why? What's the biggest? Cock block in KR for new players, returnees. Okay. Right now, it's Thaymine, Transcendence. And why am I telling you guys this? Because it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen to the West. Remember when Brelshaza was a bitch? It was a bitch to the West. Remember when Cuckoo was a bitch? It was a bitch to the West, right? It's predictable. History is gonna repeat itself. So even like the prominent Korean streamers that only stream to like good player, like they're like, every streamer has like an audience, like a new player guide streamer has a lot of new players, right? We call them the mom of Lost Ark, or the people that only talk about balance or classes. Then those kind of people that like that kind of talk go to the streamer. So even the guy who talks to only veterans, like the whale community, the min-max community, the web veterans, try hard, even he gets a lot of new players lately, and they're telling him like, how do we overcome this? How do I overcome this? Like, hey sir, I don't have Ladder Salvation 30. What do? I don't get into groups. So he's also like finally opening up to free to play, as well as like people that don't swipe as hard as him, people that didn't play as much as him, right? Returnees. So he's finally opening his vision. Is he's seeing the struggles of a new player returning. So he's also saying soloing and content is great, but Thaymine normal should be included, because the way Transcendence works is that the way Transcendence currently work is that it has an exponential scaling. Not an exponential scaling, it's not a linear scaling. That is a problem, right? So we could draw a picture, right? Let's draw a little picture. Let's draw a picture, guys. So if we could draw a picture, this is how Transcendence works, okay? Just a little spoiler warning for y'all. So if you have a graph like this, Transcendence has stages, okay? Has stages. Now, hopefully it's like, it's reworked, you know? Stage 0, and then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Currently, 7 is max. Right? And in normal mode, you could go up to stage 3. In normal mode, you go to stage 3, okay? Now, in normal mode and hard mode, you get the same amount of mats. I mean, you don't get the same amount of mats, but you get the same mats. It's called Transcendence mats. These are the ones that unlock the Transcendence slots. So this one, you see all that like, you see all that text that is like a golden flower, and there's like 5, 10, 15, 20. So as you do the Transcendence, I have 21 flowers, and 21 flowers unlocked the level 20 bonus. So the bonuses get stronger the higher you are, is what you need to know, okay? You follow me along? So I know this is not an accurate drawing or representation, but as you get higher in Transcendence, right, you start with like no power. You get like no power, right? Like, so this would be like 5% power, 10% power, right? And then this will be like 15, okay? So the way... Chat, are you there? Are you listening? Or am I talking to myself? Anyways, chat check. So at stage 1, someone asked like, hey, Zales, you know, first week, how much power can I get? like 0.37% maybe, you know? So anyways, you get really little power, okay? And then as you get to stage 2 and stuff like that, but anyways, like it goes like this and then it goes like that, right? That's how it works. So my Bladey is around here, okay? But in 2 weeks, she'll be here, which is about like 17%. Right now, about like 10 to 11%, okay? So let's look at that. Let's go to build. Let's go to my Blade. Blade has been farming Transcendence for months, bruh. So you see that? Transcendence is 11.92%. But Zeals, you said 10%. Well, that's because we also have Weapon Transcendence, so that's adding to it. So excluding that, it's about 11% to 10%, okay? All right. So when I finish my Transcendence, it says 6, 6, 5, 5, 5. Once that becomes all 7, all of these boys will light up, okay? So TLDR, what I'm saying is, the higher the Transcendence, the more powerful you are. But a normal player ends here, right? A normal player ends here. But they can still acquire the mats so that once they get to 1630 and they do Daemon Heart or whether they buy the bus, right? A carry, they'll be able to unlock these later stages, right? And the later stages give this much power, right? And the problem with Lost Ark is that the vertical systems, person who has it and don't, it's too huge. Like, for example, Light of Salvation. Light of Salvation is a problem. We all know this, okay? So let's clean the board. Let's clean the board here. So like how do I draw now? Okay, so like Light of Salvation 18 to 30, there's a gap, right? What else? Elixir is a gap. Okay, you have it or you don't have it, okay? And then there's Transcendence, right? There's a gap, right? Whether you have it at 0% or 17%, you add this up, it's 40%. Elixir and Transcendence is 40%, and then Light of Salvation, you have it as a new player. New player don't even have Light of Salvation 18. So an endgame player with Light of Salvation 30, right? It's like 14 point whatever percent, or it's like 17% with the Bard buff, whatever. So anyways, the difference is huge. And then we got gems, and then we got eye levels, like 40 eye level gap, right? We got weapon 25. So like today I was talking about the disparity between like an on eye level support for Daemon Heart, which is 1630 versus 1670 is huge. Same with DPS because of all of these things. So what do people do in Korea? They give up. They give up. That's why they're like, oh, bro, I can't wait for solo content. Why? Because they're getting gate capped because they don't have all of this. Or any of these. Or some of these. They're missing some of these. All of these. Here or there, right? So that's why people are like, yo, soloing content, I wish it came out till they mine normal. It is what it is. It's gonna be up to Voldus. Right? So what do? You come out of Voldus from solo content, and you're probably gonna get gate kept here as a normal player. I mean, as a returnee or a new player, right? Until you get what, Light of Salvation, until you get like Elixirs done, Transcendence done. However, they said they will rework Elixirs and they will rework Transcendence. What we can conclude with that is that they might make Elixirs 35 and 40 easier to get. I don't think that Elixirs will be reworked so that everybody gets 50 set, chat. That's not gonna happen. Let's be honest. That's what I was thinking. But let's just be honest. There are people that spend like 10 million gold trying to get like 50 out of 50 offensive stats, right? So I don't think they're gonna do that, but they're gonna make it much easier for normal players. Sorry, not normal players, new players and returning players to get 35 set or 40 set. Maybe they reduce the 40 set to be 30 set, right? They're like, oh, you just need 30 out of 40. I mean, 30 out of 50 to unlock a bonus for critical or master. Or they could even bring it down to 20. Or they could just give you like 20 free elixirs. We don't know what they're gonna do, right? We don't know. They might give you more options. Maybe you could guarantee options. Oh, weapon attack, select. Oh, master, select. We don't know. We don't know how they're gonna do it, but they said they're gonna do something about Transcendence as well as elixirs, because they need to help new players get that, as well as like hopefully they help with the cards. So Zeals, let's say they don't really help you. A lot of Salvation 30, still hard to get. Transcendence is still not linear. So what is a linear thing? What is linear? Like stage 1 Transcendence, 2% damage increase. Stage 2 Transcendence, 2% damage increase. So if you have stage 1, you're 2% stronger. If you have stage 2, now you're 4% stronger, right? 6%, 8%, 10%, 12%. Maybe they rework it like that. I don't know. And they make it easier to get it with less gold required, less RNG, they said. We don't know, right? But anyways, we have to see how they cook it. And then if they don't cook it too good, then you'll get gatekept. You'll get gatekept. Is it the end of the world? No. Because there are some people that just want to solo the raid. They don't want to be in the end game, but they want to get close. And I think this will also help with that, at least get you close. And then slowly, as you keep doing the normal mode, I mean the solo modes, you'll have the time to farm the cards and stuff like that, and the experience, farm the experience and the goal, whatever, to go into Feymind. However, Feymind is still a wall. It is still a coke block. Why did I wrote coke block? Because, you know, YouTube censorship. It is still a cock block, but we'll see how they ease it. We'll see how much they ease it. Okay? Yeah. Or the worst case scenario, while some people that I've talked to said they don't mind this, but the worst case scenario is people that only do solo raiding never venture into multiplayer raiding. They just wait for solo content. Like for example, like when you play Honkai Star Rail, you wait for the Penacony patch. You do the story, you log off. Oh, unlock 2.1 story. Do that, log off. Right? So really diehard 100% solo mode Andes, they could wait for Feymind normal to be added in later down, right? And then Feymind, and then eventually Echidna, eventually Behemoth. But basically, Feymind just doesn't make sense for a lot of KR users too, because Feymind and Echidna is same item level for hard mode, but why is Echidna requiring Feymind hard transcendence? Do you see the problem there? Do you see that? If there's two things, if there's two raids of same item level, why can't we go either or? Why is it not like a crossroad? Why do we have to go through Feymind to do Echidna? So that is preventing new players and returnees, because Feymind is cock blocking, because Feymind is the hardest raid. Do you see the problem, chat? And the director said he ain't gonna nerf Feymind. Okay, all right, but how do we move around this wall? Is like what we gotta wait for. Is what we gotta wait for, chat. Like, is it gonna be nerfed through time? Do we have to wait for Feymind to be added into solo content in a future patch, right? Or how do we bypass this? Because we do need the Transcendence to do Echidna, and then the subsequent raids, right? Just like how we need Boldus to get elixirs. Do you understand? So what am I saying here? Needs work. It needs work. It needs time for us to see how they cook it, right? But one thing for certain is these concerns are being presented from like critical Lost Ark content creators in Korea. So hopefully the director hears it out, you know? So all I could say is Feymind is hard. Transcendence is not really fairly. It's not a really. It's a good damage for gold spent. It is number 2 on the Korean damage to gold ratio, efficiency ratio. However, because most of the damage comes at the back end, right? Because it's not a linear progression system. It's not a linear DPS increase system. It's more towards stage 7 that it's not really fair for the normal players. So we'll have to see how they cook this, because all I want to say is this. I know we're going to like talk about this in loop, but normal players have a wall. What is that wall? Is it Feymind himself? Sure. The big baddie, the big blue guy. Okay, he's a little intimidating. But the wall is truly transcendence. Transcendence. And that transcendence requirement is not. I know someone's gonna come in my chat and be like, Zeals, do you need transcendence to be Ekinen hard? No. Do you need transcendence to be Ekinen normal? No. Do you need elixirs to be Thamai normal? No. Who imposed the rules? The player base. The player base imposed the rules. The player base says you need transcendence. The player base says you need Light of Salvation. Can somebody, a returnee, who's working hard, looking at the guides, can he beat it with Light of Salvation 18 without transcendence and elixirs? Yeah. It'd be hard. It's doable. It's not impossible. But what would you impose that on a new player who's learning the system, right? Or a casual player or a returnee player? Why do they gotta work twice as hard as somebody with Light of Salvation 30? And you may be thinking, well, that's because, you know, I worked hard about Light of Salvation, blah 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 blah. But guys, the new players need to come, man. You saw the comments. You saw the comments. Even Korean new players are like, they log in and they log out because of this. They log in, they're like, they go to their favorite streamer, they're like, oh, I heard you're famous, and sir, what do I do? They're like, bro, I mean, dude, like, I mean, it's the same thing that I say when people return to Lost Ark NA, like, oh, I came back with the Breaker Power Pass, so I got the Breaker to 1540, what do I do? How do I make the gold to get 1600? A veteran, I just said, right? Like me, well, a veteran who saved mats in NA or KR or the silver and the gold, we could get 1600 in 2 weeks, right? Not even. You guys get it in the first day, right? But a new player don't have gold income because they don't get invited to raids, right? Because of the imposed rules by the players. So they need to get gold. And solo content hopefully gives gold. I mean, it sounds like they are, right? But then, gold doesn't fix everything. As we know in Lost Ark Korea. What is happening to my blade? What is happening to her? How many freaking weeks have I been farming Transcendence? How many weeks have I been farming Transcendence? The Transcendence is a wall. It needs to be torn down. And I'm glad that people like Portia is voicing this and stuff like that, because he also get like new player, you know, asking him questions. That was a streamer I was referring to, Portia. But anyways, guys, Elixir is a massive wall too. Not as massive as it used to be, because remember when Elixirs, you could only craft 5 a week. They never gave us silver Elixirs, the free ones. Right? So if you do install the game during like Mokoko seasons, Super Mokoko events, they literally give you like about 20 to 30 free elixirs, right? So most people in Korea are getting it within a week. Now, is there a good tutorial system for elixirs for new players? Absolutely not. Do new players know what options to get? Absolutely not, right? Can elixirs be more new player friendly? Absolutely. Can they be like, oh, new player, you're playing Surge Blade, you want to get master on the helmet? Would you like to click it? I'll click it for you. Like an AI to help you? Yeah. Yeah, elixirs will get nerfed though, right? But Transcendence, my friend, is a different league than elixirs. Transcendence is, you cannot, it's a two problem factor. One, the later stages are more powerful and is only unlocked in hard mode. Two, it takes fucking months to get it. Weeks to get it. It takes longer than elixirs. It's a two problem, and it's so powerful. Yeah, these two are so powerful that it is being, it is being what? Like, you're trying to get into a nightclub or a club, man, right? You gotta dress, you gotta put on the dress code, right? You know what I mean? Like the requirement is too steep for new players. Time-wise, RNG-wise, complexity-wise, it's too much. Okay. They know it. They said it. There's too many vertical systems. That's why they're chilling. No new raids. They're chilling. Right? But do you get what I'm putting down, chat? I think I said everything I wanted to say about this. Now, let's talk about balance.